in lieu of Badenoch, that's her name. They're having a debate about a wealth tax in Britain, and they say on Novara Media they say all sorts of profound things like wealth tax seems to be very popular except with one constituency, and the wealthy are going to be upset because the wealth tax will affect the wealthy. Well, yes. And then Badenoch says, you're intending to put a tax on aspiration. In other words, it'll be tax of wealthy people on their real estate profiteering and all that kind of stuff. It's just ludicrous. It is feudalism the second time round. We've never gotten over feudalism, the class structure. We hold on to it like a religious truism. And we need to prove it, and that's all that's happened during my lifetime. That's what's happened with the wretched Labour and Democratic Party. They've just begun to manifest this unacknowledged, unconscious human desire to prove themselves better than the rest. Anyway, they quote, "A frustrated professional is a very dangerous human being," end quote. Vivek Chibber, a frustrated professional. This is not a professional golfer. This is a member of a class, an educated class. Michael Shannon, the great actor, played a part in the movie The Bike Riders called Zipco. It is a glorious film about a motorcycle gang in the Midwest, a working class movie, if you like, in that everyone in it does that work. The speech is autobiographical about his life, Zipco's life, and he says at one point, "I hate pinkos." "What's a pinko?" asks the artist in the story, or the journalist, the observer, the opinionator, etc., who is mercifully not at the center of the movie. I say so without irritation. Some very good movies are made with a character among the barbarians to speak for us. Michael says a pinko is someone, Zipco says, a pinko is someone who doesn't make anything with his or her hands. Actually, what he says is he doesn't trust them. Well, I thought, the problem is they don't trust themselves either. I have long listens to Vivek Chibber, who talks about this stuff, this schism in us. He unfortunately observes from afar, talking about not us, but them, as if they were horses. The working class does this, the working class does that. Being a horse is no knock. To me, on average, they are much more laudable and interesting than humans. But Vivek is saying there is no horse in Vivek, none, which enables him to observe the horses. To Shannon's point, perhaps he doesn't even cook, an issue I have noticed for the professional management class in general. Poor dears really do need servants or mum. I watched The Company Men too, a good old romanza. 3 super rich execs get downloaded. They are fired by Craig T. Nelson in that good old evil capitalist way we are so gosh darned angry with, but continue to allow as if it were a natural law, and we're off on a misery ride of how they deal with this shattering experience. They are our point of pity. Chris Cooper, Ben Affleck, and Tommy Lee Jones play the men. Zipco would have had a field day. Kevin Costner shows up as the grumpy, tetchy maker of things with hands, I guess, to show the dangers of imagining the non-pinko among us as some secret to enlightenment, as possessing some secret to enlightenment. Vivek might have done a good job watching this mythology. Well, Chris kills himself, typecasting. Tommy Lee has the revelation we pinkos all wish for. And Affleck displays oodles of charm as he winds his way through the pointless arrogances of the executive humbled. I kept thinking these are some of my favorite actors who might even have agreed to play in it because of the earnest attempt of the story to criticize something. In the end, the two surviving lads combine resources and decide to start a shipbuilding operation and give work to the thousands of Shannons out there drinking away their sorrows in bars. It is set in Boston, and the film ends. The Pinkos win. In the last scene, Ben swaggers on set, full of his old boss bravura, brandishing the best smile in Hollywood since Barack Obama left office. Yes, that is Hollywood. I royally enjoyed the film, excuse the pun, and dug up Moneyball to cleanse the palate. All of which is a long way round to examine the pinko-heavy world we live in, where Vivek has his they, saying they should be respected and not treated so unfairly. By whom? You guessed it. From Eddie Glaude, Charles Blow, other greatly admired men, we are to understand that the vote for anyone other than their vapid sister or her fading teenager ancient boss was evidence of racist misogyny. One almost expects to hear, well, they didn't go to Harvard. They didn't write for the New York Times. Heck, they don't even read it. Pinkos Unleashed. The fun and profound part is the rage. No, I don't make things with my hands. I make stuff up in my head. I have opinions. I'm a thought leader. Evidence. Look at my Twitter account. God damn you. And were I to be classified, I am one of them. Or Vivek's us. The only difference is I know my Hamlet was no better than a good carburetor. Or it was as good, which is high praise indeed. With all this toxic ego flooding the Silicon Valley, all this musty superfluity, all this projection from the most hate-filled class onto its many nemeses, Vivek opens a door. This is not evidence of talent, but of the hard work it takes to write books and the toughness to know propaganda when he sees it, putting him in the boxer contingent in Animal Farm, the interesting contingent, far, far better and more useful than 1984, but ignored by the pigs that serve us our daily gruel of myth. It is fascinating, the collegiate insistence on 1984, the result to rage at, not the reason that implicates us. It won't last, dears, don't worry, they all eat pork. And one day Boxer's descendants will run free where the wind blows, the river flows, and the grass grows. One more note on the company men. The woman who plays Ben Affleck's wife is not only excellent, but the role that she is given is really, really interesting. She doesn't do the usual thing of freaking out and leaving with the kids or doing any of that kind of stuff. She stays around, she nags him, she gets at him, she has a real job. And it was a moment in a film of massive cliches, nevertheless useful, perceptive, moments. And to see particularly Chris Cooper, and it's 2011, I think, so it's a long time, 14 years. Chris Cooper and Tommy Lee Jones particularly doing they've got these amazing wrinkly faces these days. Still magnificent actors, but it's a strange thing to watch, to live in a culture that watches its old men grieve, kill themselves, lose their way. And it is a culture that will do that. Well, they had that awful film, I couldn't bear it, but they called No Country for Old Men. This is no culture for old men. This is not a place where they will do well, which means that it's a dead-end culture.